Hello everybody, Bayou Boogeyman here. I just wanted to make a quick video to kind of help some new people in the hobby, or if you're coming back, or if you're wanting to flip or PSA grade cards. Yeah, I just wanted to show y'all what a lot of beginners mistakes are when they're wanting to get into flipping cards from raw into PSA. Okay, so PSA submissions, where basically start off with a $149 fee to get a membership, and then you got to mentally remember that every card is going to cost about 20 bucks. It's it fluctuates. I think right now it's at $18.99 before tax, whatever. So everything you're going to do is you're looking for values over 20 bucks, and with PSA submissions now being, I think they moved it up to 75 days. All this got to be you got to take all this into consideration. So I'll show you a couple examples here that I have of what I look for and what you should look for when you want to flip cards. Got a nice hair cross here. It's got a great pattern, looks great, and we're gonna see it's a little off-centered, which I have some notes right here. Yeah, it's gonna be off-centered, and I think it's pretty clear. Look at all this at the bottom, a little bit at the top. It's gonna be off-centered there, so it's not gonna get a 10. And then the back has some whitening dots. So you would want to put it against a black background, like my playmat here. But you want to look at it. You can see the white specks here. You can see some down there. So this would even get probably like an 8 in my opinion, because it's going to be a low, and there's going to be nicks on the edges here. And that's mostly just cardboard cut. This was packed fresh, pulled by me. Never been played, this is the most I've ever touched it. But just a cardboard cut is bad. Yeah, so I mean, that happens with the cards. This has never been played. This has been sitting in probably this exact sleeve for, I don't know, 7-8 years. So this one doesn't get sent out. I mean, it could if I wanted to shoot for an 8, or it doesn't get a 9. I could shoot for an 8, but my notes say the 8 is worth about 40 bucks. So now, do I send this out? Something I've been sitting on for 10 years. I'm going to pay $22 before shipping, and I'm going to get it back in about 5 months, 75-day turnaround. I get it back in 5 months. Is it worth making a potential 20 bucks? Not to me. So, you could sell this one on eBay or TCG Player as like a light played, even though it's not played at all. Sell it as a light played, and you probably make 10-15 bucks on it. And in my opinion, that's better than just sitting on a card. This card's been in my collection for 8-9 years now, so it just sits here, or you can sell it elsewhere. It'll probably be sold elsewhere. My links will be down below. I do have a TCG Player eBay store and a website. eBay a little bit more high-end sells, TCG Player a little bit more lesser end sells, but good cards, not just fully bulk. Okay, we're gonna look at an older card here. This Arceus is gonna be from the XY promo series, and this foil bleeds really bad on this edge here. Now, I'm not gonna be able to get it in the light. I never can. But if you watch my PSA submission video, you'll see I have like 3 or 4 of them with just the smallest bleeds. But other than that, this card is nice. It's nicely centered. There is a speck down here, you see. The card cut is pretty bad up here. But again, I pulled this one 10 years ago, put it in a sleeve, haven't touched it since, and it's still not completely packed fresh. But now here's the difference between this card. This card, I would say, is probably a 9. Like, the foil's perfect, it hasn't been touched. The only thing we're dealing with are these white... Sorry, my moss is everywhere. We're dealing with these white specks just on the edges there. Now, this could get a 9, depending on your grader. Could get an 8. In a 9, this card is worth $150 still. In an 8, this card is worth about 80 bucks. Now, is 80 bucks kind of worst case scenario, a good deal to you? So $20 to get it shipped. You're waiting a few months. Maybe you need a filler card to get your 20 minimum submissions in. This is a great candidate for an 8 for a possible 9. Yeah, so is it worth it? I think so. If you make an $80 on a card that, again, has been sitting in my possession for about 10 years, I find this card would be worth it in my opinion. So it'll probably go out my next submission. Actually, I just sent off 3, so I do have one more I need to do. Is another great example of a, let's see, I have it listed as a 10. I had like 10 of these, pulled them all myself. This was the best looking one. Black border really helps with showing its centering. So the centering looks actually perfect to me. The back, you see a speck there, see a speck there. So we got 2 specks, literally little cardboard cuts there. And now, could this get a 10? It could. PSA grades 9s and 10s, they don't do 9.5s. So, you know, if you have a good grader, or maybe a generous grader, not a good one, a generous grader, they could see past a speck on one corner, as long as it's not all 4 corners. But 2 corners can knock it down to a 9.5, which can still get a 10. Now, he could come down here and nitpick, you know, a speck, or, I mean, the front's flawless. He'd have to nitpick something back here, and then he can give you the 9 for the 2 corners looking pretty rough. In a 10, this card goes for $230. In a 9, this card goes for $45. So now we're kind of in the same boat we were with the Heracross, where, you know, are you going to ship it out for 22 bucks, wait 5 months, and potentially get, like, I don't know what, $25? That's up to you. I'm more into the high-end cards with bigger profit turnarounds, even at 9s, because that just feels more safe, in my opinion. And then I'll show you a perfect flawless card. I got it at my local game store, actually. But just a perfect card, perfect centered. The hollow is nice, you know, it's been untouched. And then the back. Corner's completely flawless. Corner's completely flawless. And this is a 10. There should be no reason. It does look a little heavy. Now that I'm looking at it through the camera, it does look a little heavy top side. They do allow a 55-45 on the front and a 75-25 on back. So back's pretty generous. Front's not as generous. They do sell tools that you could check this, in my opinion. The rest of the card is pretty. I have 4 of these now. I done sent off 2. I did hold back on this one because of that centering, but it will go in my next submission. And my guess is that it will get a 10. And at worst case a 9. So a 10, the card only goes for about $120. And then in a 9, it's going for about $65. So even at worst case scenario, it gets graded for being too off-centered. Still a great card. And it's a profitable card. It's a $40 card coming back at a 9, you know, with the chance of coming back at a 10 for $120. So it's a $100 card. And that's way safer, in my opinion. So these are a little bit more risky, because you're playing with 9s that will probably be 9s and $20 profits. And then you're playing with this one that at a 10 is worth it, but then at a 9 you're kind of breaking even, but it's a really nice card. So you assume it would get a 10, but assuming, you know what they say about assuming, you don't want to do that. And then you get something that's more kind of guaranteed. And I think this one I can show you as well. This one's for sure a 10, but the profit margins on this card isn't as high. So this one's got actually perfect centering, and then same thing, clean edges all around, what you're looking for. So this is a completely flawless card in every sense, in my opinion. Pulled it myself, put it in a sleeve, nobody's touched it but me. And but the rates are, you know, it's like a $5 raw card, but it's only like an $80 card in 10. And then if you get to a 9, it's like 20 bucks. So now if you grade it and it comes back a 9, you break even. You waited 5 months, you lost out on a slot. You could put something else, like, I mean, I do Rift Bound, I do sports cards. I could put anything in that slot. But if you know for sure it's a 10, then it's a positive. It's an $80 win, $90 win. Time you get it back in 5 months, maybe the price goes up. It's Charizard. It kind of always just kind of holds its own value. And so this is a great card to send off. This is also in my submission set for the next one. And yeah, I just want to make a quick video and show you different examples of what to look for, because you can't go into these cards grading with your, this is a great card, grading with your heart. So if you look at it and you say, oh, this is my card, I'm the only one who touched it, it's a guaranteed 10. Well, it's not. You got to be realistic. This one's off-centered, top to bottom, and it's probably 60-40. It's probably right on the cusp of like what they're looking for, to not give it a 10. And then the back is flawless. Oh, just kidding. Look at that. Look, I'm even being harsh on myself right now. Back's not flawless. I thought maybe I already sent my other one out. I had like 3 of them. But anyways, so you could look at this and be like, oh, that card's great. I'm not worried about those white dots. They won't see that. Other than that, yeah, it's a 10. So this card's worth like $1,000. Okay, it's not worth 1,000. It's probably worth like $400 in a 10. And you're like, you see the big 400, you think, this is mine, nobody's touched it but me, it has to be packed fresh, it has to be 10 worthy, and it's just not. So you're judging with your heart at this point, thinking it's mine, it's got to be a 10, and it's just not. So you got to be realistic, keep your expectations a little lower. I like to think everything is a 9. So if I buy a card, like this one's only like $6 raw, if I buy this card for $6 and I think it will get a 9, if I think it get a 10, I'll say, well, what's the 9 price? 9 price is $65. Okay, that's a win. So even at its worst, it's going to be profitable for me. But at its best, which I think it is, I'll come out 10x ahead. So these are the kind of cards that I like to grade. I know some people do like to grade a lower card and get back a $10 profit or a 1x profit or a 2x profit. I play more with higher end or older cards. I even sent off like a couple of these promo Riftbound cards. I really like these. Well, I'm a big League of Legends guy, and these Riftbound cards are very pretty. But I sent off 2 promo cards, and one's got the Origin stamp on it, and there's not even a price or a comp on them. But I know it's a stamped card from a first set, and it's a promo. It will go up in value. Okay, but I done rambled on. Video's getting a little long. Just wanted to give y'all an example of how to price and not think with your heart. Like, see it with your eyes and be very judgmental and harsh on yourself, and you'll see a lot of profits. I've done 10 submissions so far, so I've been doing this quite a bit. My 10 rate's pretty high when I want it to be. Sometimes I do shoot for 9s if I know the card is worth it in a 9 as well. A lot of base set, a lot of base set 2, a lot of jungle I've been doing cards of, so I know a little bit older sets a little bit better. But yeah, hope this helps somebody out, and I got links down below for my TCG player, my eBay account. Yeah, and go ahead and leave a follow and subscribe, and I'll be posting a lot more of these kind of videos to help y'all out. And remember, the swamp never sleeps. Don't get lost out there.